So growing up, especially us girls, we were taught, fairy tales. You kiss the frog, and the frog turns into a prince, and then we get married, and we live happily ever after. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. Some of us are going to have a fun-filled and romance-filled Valentine's Day, but others won't, because maybe you're stuck in the swamp, kissing too many frogs that never turn into a prince, and that's the theory of our guest this afternoon, relationship expert, dating coach, flirting coach, even kissing coach, and author of Never Kiss a Frog, A Girl's Guide to Creatures from the Dating Swamp, Marilyn Anderson. Hello and welcome to Kababayan, LA.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
First of all, congratulations. The book, I've read it. It's so much fun. You should get a copy because it's fun because at the same time, it's also real.
Yes, and every woman has gone through it. In fact, when we grow up, we're taught you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince.
Right.
And now I'm telling women, no, you can't find a prince if you're busy kissing frogs.
Ooh, that is a good way of putting it. But okay, how much time did you need in order to complete the book? How much research did you put into it?
Well, I've been in the swamp forever, but no, it's a conglomeration of my experiences plus experiences of other women who I've known. And you have to, the secret is, as soon as you see somebody's a frog, as soon as they ribbit,
yes,
it's time to move on. Throw them back in the swamp and move on, because that's how you find your prince, is getting rid of those frogs.
Right, and that is the beauty of this book, because this is the guide. Sometimes we're in it, we're so close to the person that we don't really actually realize that they are frogs. And sometimes we still hold on to the hope that when we kiss them, they'll turn into a prince, or we can. The more miserable thing is sometimes we think that we can change them into becoming a prince.
And that's what I'm saying. You can't change them. A frog is a frog is a frog. They won't turn into a prince no matter how many times you kiss them.
Yeah, let's take a look at, okay, before we take a look at this different kinds of frogs in the swamp. Perfect person, and my boyfriend and I were talking about this, perfect person, but horrible kisser. Do you stay or do you go? Do you hold on to the fact that maybe you can teach the person?
I don't think you can teach a person how to kiss. I mean, you can certainly try. But the bottom line is, if you don't like kissing him, you don't want to spend your life with him. And in fact, I call that the really nice guy but really bad kisser frog. And I've got a wart warning.
What is the wart warning?
If he drools, slobbers, or makes you wince, this guy is definitely not your prince.
Ooh, I like that. All right, now let's talk about the different kinds of frogs aside from the really nice but really bad kisser frog. We have the all work and no play kind of frog. Do you give yourself a limit? And what is all work and no play that you cannot tolerate?
Well, this is the workaholic. It's the guy who calls you, he's not going to be there because he has to work late, or he doesn't show up at all, or he comes, you make a beautiful dinner and you end up eating it alone because he's still at the office, or when you finally do go out with him, he spends the whole time you're with him on the phone or texting his business associates.
Oh, that sounds like me when I'm out on a date. On my BlackBerry. I'm a frog. No, that's me when on a date. I'm always on my BlackBerry.
And the word warning is, if work consumes him every minute, when he comes home to bed, don't you be in it.
Ah, good.
Teach him not to work too hard.
Yes, Froganista. What is who is a Froganista?
Well, Froganista, actually, I have a web series, and this is one of the frogs I have in the web series. And actually, you get to know this guy. You don't know right away he's a Froganista, but some guys might have a little fetish, and it's like if he's paying too much attention to your clothes, if he buys you a new dress, just make sure when he goes home, he's not trying it on.
That.
I have an
you
episode
ever
that's really
had
funny.
An experience like that?
Well, I've talked to some people who told me in advance that they liked to do it, and so I never ended up going out with them. But they said, well, you don't mind. He said, one of the guys I talked to, he said when he was married, he and his wife used to dress up in her clothes.
Ooh, that sounds strange.
Ribbit.
My friend,
thank you.
Yeah, there was my friend was with a guy, and this guy just knew, the latest purse, the latest brand, and I was just like, really? I'm not sure. Okay, total makeover. Who was a total makeover?
Now this is the guy. I went out with a guy a couple of times, and we had a great time, and I thought it was perfect. And on our third date, he says to me, you look great, 10 pounds thinner.
Oh,
I said, what
a jerk.
Well, I've been taking diet pills. I don't eat less. I just eat faster. But then he says, why don't you try your hair blonde instead of brown? And why don't you wear pastels? And I said to him, I don't get it. if you don't like the way I look, why do you keep asking me out?
Right.
He says to me, well, I'm in real estate. I like fixer-uppers.
What is the wart warning? Is there a wart warning to
There
this?
sure is.
What did you tell him? How did you tell him goodbye?
If a man wants to change your looks, you should look to change your man.
All right.
I told him, this is one property that's about to be foreclosed.
All right. I like that. Count Frogula. Who is a Count Frogula?
Oh, well, this is the guy, and in my book where you can see he's got fangs and a cape. But why is it that so many women stay with guys who make them miserable?
Okay.
It's like the women are always in tears when the guy's at their house, they're crying, or when he leaves, they're crying. And I call this guy Count Frogula because any guy who drains the life out of you sucks.
Oh, yeah, I like that. And too much drama is just bad.
Yeah, I mean, why do you, and it's like the theory of the bad boy. You know, the girl who likes the bad boy, he's always making her unhappy. You know what? He's a frog. Get rid of him.
All right. We have more to talk about the frogs and how to forget about them when we return on Kababayan LA. Don't go away.